All right, guys, we are live. Welcome to a solo edition of TigerBait Live. Buddy Sanji not going to be with me tonight. Had a little car trouble and with his significant other, and so he's helped with changing tires and the whole works. But he'll be back next week, and I think we've got a lot to discuss tonight. Obviously, Walker Howard to Ole Miss this morning. Auburn just laid the wood to LSU at home. LSU's now lost 5 straight SEC basketball games after starting the season with a nice win in SEC play. LSU women, big game tomorrow night, hosting Arkansas, 8 o'clock. I think they should have a big crowd tomorrow night for that one. Miss Reese could have a record-tying double-double tomorrow night with matching Sylvia Fowles. So it could be a really big night for LSU women's basketball. And I think Angel Reese will tie that record tomorrow night. So Arkansas is actually probably the best team you're going to see in the PMAC face LSU. They've been receiving votes most of the year. Of course, we're all looking forward to South Carolina on Super Bowl Sunday. Could be 1 versus 3, and maybe could it be 1 versus 2 by that time. But they're heading towards a real clash there in next month. So a lot of recruiting stuff. We're tracking visitors this weekend. Somewhat of a junior day. Got a defensive tackle from Chicago that's coming in, and some rumors out there about a linebacker, Omar Spates, possibly being a guy that could commit to LSU, a transfer from Oregon State, and we could see a little bit of good news coming there. That looks to be trending LSU. So I'm going to get through as many of your questions as you can. Guys, hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. Please share to your social media, Facebook, Twitter. Text it out to your friends. And, of course, we're brought to you by Pride Roofing each and every week, the official roofing company of TigerBait.com. Von Bluesman, hello, Tiger fans. Let me change that real quick. That's the font that Preston likes to use. I like this one better. All right. Yes, there is a show tonight, Bob. Running a little late. Richard Sinnett, let's go. And Blaine Smith thought Howard was going to TCU, but get your popcorn ready. Yeah, I think it was this time last week where I thought it was TCU. In fact, I was on with Charlie Hannegriff the next day, midday, and I think I said 98% chance it's TCU. And I had some discussions with first-hand discussions, let's say that. There was no second-hand conversations that led me to that. But everything changed Thursday, and the number of SEC schools that inquired about Walker Howard is as soon as he got in the portal was significant. Over a half dozen. And went and visited Ole Miss, then went to TCU. Florida tried to get a visit. I know Rob Sale was in Lafayette, OC, over at Florida, and they didn't get Napier, someone like Walker Howard. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that moves going forward. I know there's a lot of discussion as to why. Now it looks like there could be another quarterback added at Ole Miss from Oklahoma State. If that hasn't already happened, you guys fill me in. I've been out and about, but he is expected to head over there. And so, yeah, Spencer Sanders from Oklahoma State. And, of course, you've already got Jackson Dart there. So did he go from the same situation at LSU to Ole Miss? I think there's still some other things that could happen there. But here's the bottom line. And I was on with Jacques Doucet on WFB earlier tonight. Swung by there to talk to Jacques about it. And the bottom line is, and this is, if you've been watching our show, you know it's, or if you're a TigerBait subscriber, we've been having good discussion on our message board about this. This wasn't because of NIL money. It wasn't because of demanding to be the starter. It was just all about a log jam and how to get the reps, how to be developed. And so it just didn't work out. And now he's on his way to Ole Miss, and we're going to see how that plays out. Cannot blame Brian Kelly or Joe Sloan for how this all played out. Maybe there's a few things, but overall, it is what it is. And LSU's quarterback situation is great right now. But of course, after Jaden Daniels is gone, we'll see if Garrett Nussmeier is going to be the guy, and can he fix the interceptions? You'll get Colin Hurley at midterm. Ricky Collins showed up this week. But I know that they did not want Walker Howard to leave. That is absolutely, there's been, LSU continue to recruit him all the way up until late last night. There might have been a call this morning, but LSU could not get him back to return to LSU. Get me some recruiting information. All right, Blaine. Eric DeLine, please don't talk about Howard. Heard enough about this man. Let him go. I don't care. He's not a Tiger anymore. Don Wheat, what is going on with our men's basketball team? They are not fun to watch. They've got a lot of issues. I don't know where to start with. Look, I think Matt McMahon is doing as much as he can with what he's got. But the schedule is brutal, and it's look at the next few weeks. It doesn't get any better. Where is LSU's next SEC win likely to come from? Barry Barbier, let's hope Walker Howard starts very soon at Ole Miss, because that will be guaranteed wins for LSU. Okay. Von Bluesman, any reports on the kicking team players? I heard our punter's returning. Yes, he is. Going to be watching to see if the place kicker up in Bossier City, who's rated as the number one place kicker in the country, ends up getting an offer from LSU. Blaine Smith, as soon as Kiffin gets a better job, he's out of here. I don't know why he chose Ole Miss. I asked that question, and that was brought up during the visit. And I'm told that Lane Kiffin has his daughter there living there now. She's a student at Ole Miss, and he is absolutely happy. He turned down Auburn, and he's not going anywhere. And he got more money. Nurse Court, hey guys, glad to have you in Nurse Court. Daniel Hayward, do you think Lane told me has a chance to start? I don't think he promised him anything like that. I do think that Walker feels like he's got a real strong opportunity to compete for possibly number one, number two. Does he end up number three? We'll see. What does Jackson Dart end up doing now that two transfer quarterbacks have arrived on the scene? It's going to be a very interesting spring at Ole Miss. James Sells, blame. I honestly think Lane Kiffin will leave at SEC where he wants to be. I agree. I don't see him going anywhere. Blaine, saw a lot of recruits get significant bumps in this class. Yes, they did. I think some of them were well-deserved from the ones that I saw out there. John Parker, Mike Walker Howard didn't look like he wasn't close to being ready to play, judging by performance in the bowl game. I think my only issue with Walker is I would like to see him heavier. He's in the mid-190s, I believe, right now. I'd like to see him at 205, but I'm not going to judge him in a Citrus Bowl with LSU's third-team offensive line and his number one wide receiver being Landon Ibieta, who had been hurt all year and is a true freshman. Yeah. How would he look with the number one and the number two guys at LSU? And that's part of the reason why he left, because he would likely be getting the same reps 2 years in a row. Frank McCatry, Walker will be starting mid-season. He has no help, though, on outside of one running back. H-Town Creole, good luck and well wishes to Walker Howard. To be honest, I think he made a mistake because he is nowhere close to be starting the SEC. Go Tigers. We'll see. We'll see. Michael Duyon, any insight on Justice Hill leaving the basketball team? I don't have anything on that. Eric DeLine, by the way, audio and video is top-notch, Mike. Excellent. All right. It seems to be when I get in the office, my setup in here is you guys seem to like that. No, Buddy is not. Yeah, Buddy's fine. No issues. His significant other had a tire issue on the other side of town, and getting that all fixed up and getting AAA and all that. It put him behind. I said, dude, I'll go solo, and he'll be back. He'll be back next week. Chance Babin, Mike, do you think we signed any more high school kids in the February signing? I think LSU could be. I think they do, and I mentioned it earlier. They're going to have some visitors this weekend. Not only are you going to have something that's like a junior day, but you are going to have Jamel Howard from Chicago, Illinois, Marist High School, who we reported about, I guess, about a month ago or right before Christmas, that Polian had offered. And he's 6'3", 320. He's a class of 2023. He's a 3-star defensive tackle. And I watched some of his film, and I can see why a lot of schools are trying to get on him late. Wisconsin, Ole Miss, Michigan, and others. I think LSU has a chance there. Yeah, Nurse Court going to take more than Walker Howard going to Oxford to make it interesting, in my opinion, Mike. Yeah, look, you guys know it. I admit to it every week. I've been covering that kid since he's in the 9th grade. That news last week was you got to do your job as a media guy, but I'm not going to deny that I wanted to see what he might do at LSU in the future. And but look, he's now in the SEC West, and I think most LSU fans, all LSU fans, maybe want him to have a good career, but never have a chance at coming close to beating LSU each year. Kenny Futch just got home from the Auburn game. This team is painful to watch. Yes, they are, Kenny. James Phillips, who are the top 3 or 4 players in next year's class? I tell you what, I'm going to pull up my list because I don't want to miss anybody. Class of 24. I think that your headliner is going to be Trey'Dez Green over there at East Feliciana. Is he a basketball player? Is he a football player? He's got offers to play both. Is this a situation where the last 2 Louisiana players to get scholarship offers from LSU in basketball ended up being football players, the last one being Brian Thomas? And so it's going to be interesting to see there. I think, is he going to end up being your highest rated Louisiana prospect? He could be. I really like Kyrie Lee, the offensive lineman from John Ehret. You're talking about a 6'5", 340-pounder. Want to see him get a little bit leaner, and I know he's working on that. I saw Melvin Hills from Lafayette Christian. I'd like to see some more out of him. Kalaj Cobbins is going to be one of your elite guys. I think you have him definitely is a national 100 kid, top 50. He's a top 50 kid. Maybe even a kid that ends up serious discussion to being a 5-star. I think he's that special. Seen him several times. I love that kid. Honor student. Wallace Foster at corner is another a kid could be elite. Wardell Mack, another top corner right there in New Orleans. Tylen Singleton at Manny. I think he is very special. And that's just some of them from Louisiana. Just scanning my list real quick. Could it be that 24 looks good? It's missing a running back, I think. It's missing, is 25 end up going to be in a better year? I think it could. 25 could end up being better than 24 in the state of Louisiana. Kevin Virtue, your passion for Walker Howard to thrive as a Tiger is appreciated and a reflection of the players you cover. Go, Mike. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, look, when I met Walker, and filmed him that first night in the ninth grade at Turlings. What was it, about a month, 6 weeks after his mom had died, and just seeing that kid throughout his whole career, and getting to know him and getting close to Jamie, and yeah, that news last week was depressing. I wish there was somehow they could have worked it out. Von Bluesman, Mike, I heard Jaden is a grad and now has more time to work on his passing skills like Joe did last season with LSU. Good point. Good point. Absolutely. And so does he have an off season like Joe Burrow did? And all those receivers get together in their own time. When spring practice is in, do they do it on their own? Of course, there's a lot more things that coaches can do in the off season to really coach these kids up, even when they're not having actual on the field stuff. But Jaden Daniels and those wide receivers need to be doing extra on their own. That'll tell you a whole lot when you start hearing stuff like that leak out. Because we know what that did for Joe Burrow and Chase and Terrace and all those guys and Justin that off season of 2019. Chance Babin asked Mike, with the loss of a few offensive linemen, we signed one or two in the portal. I think you always look if there's a great offensive lineman in the portal, particularly at center. That's something we didn't talk about yet. Cardell Thomas hit the portal earlier today, and I hope he has success. Cardell's one of my favorite kids that we've covered over the years, and I don't know where he's going to land, but I hope he has much success wherever he ends up. But I don't know that Cardell makes them panic and say we need to go get a couple of offensive linemen. But if there's a really good one there and they can get them, look, every name that gets put in that portal, they're watching it, and they start having discussions and what ifs and talking to the position coach. They've got guys on the staff that's all they do is see who puts their name in there, and there's going to be a whole new batch in May. So schools are going to go through spring football, and it's going to get interesting. Holden Lee, is there a linebacker we are looking to get? And you've got the kid from Oregon State, Omar Spates, 308 tackles, 25 for loss. He got in the portal a few days ago, and LSU is a big factor there. In fact, he's trending LSU. I'll say that. Hello, Texas Tiger. Glad to have you with us. Texas Tiger, one of our longtime TigerBait subscribers. Do you think Whit Weeks will be ready to be a backup next season? He is a riser in the rankings. I do. I think Whit Weeks plays as a freshman. I really like what I've seen out of him. Mike, how huge is to get Emory for one more year? I don't know. This running back room, I keep saying the word interesting tonight, but that is going to be interesting. I didn't think he'd be back. I really didn't. And I'm not saying, and maybe not back because he was going pro. Maybe, not coming back because maybe he was transferring somewhere. I'm really shocked by it, to be honest. But look, if he's a pleasant surprise, fine. But I think if you're LSU, you've really got to develop the two freshman running backs that you brought in. And look, man, you got every running back. Let's see how Armani Goodwin does coming off injury too. I really liked what I saw out of him last year. Nurse Court, I'll miss Cardell just being around and hope he finds a place. Shame how his injury affected him over the years. Absolutely. Cardell should join Wire at Tulane. That might not be a bad place if Fritz has got a place for him. Michael Duyon asks Mike, when it comes to spring ball, wouldn't Howard get the same amount of quality reps as Nuss? Why wouldn't he stick around and compete at least through the spring for the number 2 spot? No, I think that was some of the, the back and forth and what Walker was really grinding about for the whole month of December and past the bowl game was that there wasn't being any, I don't know if you want to say promise. Look, I don't think those kids are going to sit there and count reps, but I don't, the feeling was that he wasn't going to be in the ballpark with the caliber of reps with the twos. And so here's the deal. Here's the deal on this. And I said this with Jacques earlier. I don't know if he used it in his package, but if you've got Jaden Daniels, all right. Once you get to game week or at the end of August, heading to play Florida State, and once school starts and you're at 20 hours NCAA work week, even the number 2 quarterback does not get the quality of the reps that the 1 does. He gets the reps with the 2s, but there is no third team offense that gets practice. So Ricky Collins is going to end up being your scout team, which is what Walker did last year. So the number 2 guy really didn't get the reps with the 1s. It's the starter. And so what is the third guy getting at practice every day? So it's also a question of development. And I know that that's something that was a lot of the back and forth. So the bad thing about it is while LSU's quarterback situation can look good right now, absolutely Jaden Daniels is a starter. I don't know how they play that, and you know, what does Brian Kelly say in the media throughout spring and after the spring game? You know, does he do the whole it's close and they're so neck and neck and they each do good things, and you can do that all day long. But Jaden is the guy. And so Jaden has one more year. He's gone midterm. It's Garrett Nussmeier. Now, does Garrett Nussmeier get to the point where he's not making bad decisions and making passes he's not supposed to? And is he your guy for 2024? Because if he's not, you don't have Walker Howard. You're then with Garrett, Colin Hurley, and Ricky Collins. A junior, a redshirt freshman, and a true freshman. Could be crazy. Texas Tire, how much of the Walker Howard issue is Kelly in the OC? Absolutely none. Absolutely none. I don't think there's any personality clashes with any of that. Kenny Futch, that offensive guru who can't get to Atlanta. Meanwhile, Coach Brian Kelly gets there in year 1. Absolutely. He-Man 70525. Jaden's good, experienced and runner. Jaden's bad. I haven't seen him push the ball deep. Absolutely. That is correct. All right, guys, it's that time of the show. Of course, we're here each and every week because Mike Faraday and Alex Martinez, Pride Roofing, the official roofing company of TigerBait.com. And let's hear from them.
Hi, I'm Michael.
I'm Alex.
At Pride Roofing, we handle commercial and residential work.
TPO, shingle, and metal inventory.
We got it. Property still in disarray from the recent hurricanes and hailstorms. Insurance claims?
No problem. But you know Pride Roofing is the official roofer at TigerBait.com.
In fact, notify TigerBait and we'll give you a free roof inspection. And on top of that, you get a free year subscription. Call 855-PRIDE-16. Se habla español.
There you go. Pride Roofing. And as you saw at the end of that ad, call them 855-PRIDE-16. Tell them TigerBait, and they're going to pay for you to have free TigerBait Premium for a year. They're going to send me a check for you to have it for free with your free roof inspection with Pride. Anywhere in South Louisiana, Gulf Coast, Mississippi, all the way up to Jackson, all the way to Vinton, Louisiana, and north up to Alexandria. and of course, based right there in Albany, Louisiana. Go check them out. Commercial or residential roofs, any type of roof. And they do a whole lot of fabricating metal roofs, and best in the business, and they're going to warranty their work better than anybody. 855-PRIDE-16. Give Pride a call. All right, let me scroll. I don't see Walker Howard tolerate that clown Kiffin. I like Kiffin, man. I think he's great for the SEC. But what I will tell you is not only does he like Kiffin, but he really liked Charlie Weiss Jr. I think Charlie Weiss Jr. was a big factor in LSU choosing Ole Miss over TCU and others. How many of you guys are going to the LSU women's game tomorrow night? All right, guys, I'm scrolling down. I'm going to get to some of your comments. Mick McGrath Lane just needs a defensive coordinator. Just getting in, any discussion about TCU swiping Briles from Arkansas? That was big. And I think that was one of the I think that they knew the Howards that that's who they were going to get while they were there on their visit. Still chose Ole Miss. You know, I talked about that today, American Patriot, when I was on Buddy's show. I don't think Lane goes anywhere. Of course, look, nobody thought Brian Kelly would leave Notre Dame for LSU. But I did say unless Alabama were to want him, and would he be their guy right now? I mean, for years we thought it was Dabo. That's they don't seem to like him. That fan base is not interested. He's lost a little bit of luster, maybe a good bit of luster. You know, who would be their guy now if Saban were to say, I'm going to coach another year or two? Who would be at the tops of the Alabama? You know, is there a fan favorite and is there an athletic department favorite? Yeah, you'll be watching on stream Texas Tiger Moki tomorrow night. We should meet for the UT series versus LSU and Alex Box. Yeah, we're going to be, I'll be at LSU Baseball Media Day next Friday. We'll have all that for you on TigerBait.com. Player interviews, Jay Johnson, the works, and we're going to be adding some more extra baseball stuff at TigerBait this spring. Daniel Rummel, Mike, who is a running back out of New Orleans that is so special? I think he's a sophomore or junior. That'd be Harlan Berry, class of 25. Already has an LSU offer. The first time I saw him, I said, man, he looks like Joe McKnight. I texted his video out to 3 guys, and I said, who does he remind you of? Guys that I had been around for a while. And every one of them, within watching 3 or 4 plays of his huddle, as soon as it went up, said, that's Joe McKnight. Super kid, honor student. And his daddy played high school football with Frank Wilson. So there you have it. I think LSU is the team to beat. Yes, there is, Carl. Lots of high school football coaching changes across the state. And a lot of them are head scratchers. Chris Colbert, Nuss should be developed by 24 man. I can't wait to see it. There's no denying that Garrett Nussmeier has an arm. He's got legs, swagger. Just needs to improve a great deal in decision making. Scrolling for your comments, guys. Give me a second. American Patriot, a couple of weeks ago, Kiffin was defending Saban with Jimbo. He told Jimbo to leave Saban alone. Made me wonder why. Yeah, of course, usually when Lane says that, he's talking about rat poison and don't give him any ammo or don't fire him up. But yeah. Michael Duyon, I haven't been this pumped up for a Tigers baseball season in the last 10 to 15 years. Yet there is absolutely a lot of excitement. Number one preseason ranking by all the publications, D1 Baseball being the gold standard, came out a couple of days ago. I spoke to Kendall Rogers a few times in the last month or so, and he's just amazed by what he saw when he went to Lafayette to see LSU scrimmage ULL on that Sunday. And it really looks like the only thing that can stop this LSU baseball team is if they have a rash of injuries. So they got to play together and all that stuff. But the talent is just, I mean, I've had former LSU baseball players that were on national championship teams at LSU tell me that from top to bottom, this is without a doubt the most talented LSU baseball team ever. We'll see. That is crazy, Bart. 7 SEC teams in the top 10 on D1. And look, those guys at D1 baseball, look at their staff. It's not just Kendall. You got Peterson, who's like the head guy of it. They've got some really great baseball guys on that site. You're not talking about a bunch of SEC homers. You know, you got Peterson from out west. I mean, and nobody does it better than those guys at D1 baseball. When Coach Johnson said he would address pitching, man, did he ever deliver? Man, when you go up into the Twins and steal a baseball pitching coach during a season, that's crazy. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Fire3449. If you're enjoying the show, hit the like button and spread the word about our channel. You guys did it for us last week. We went over 17,000 YouTube subscribers, and very much appreciate you guys being a part of our YouTube TigerBait community. Are we going to get to 85? I think they're going to get close. But I do like the idea of having a handful of spots that you can address some issues after spring when you have that next portal wave the first few weeks of May. Scooby 70611, Mike, if I'm Bama, I go after Tennessee's coach to replace Saban, young guy with a lot of years left. Does Josh Heupel seem like an Alabama guy? Maybe. You know, there's a lot of likable coaches in the SEC. I'm not a Kirby Smart guy. He's probably the guy I like least of all the coaches in the league. Heupel probably ain't far behind him. I don't know about the personality there. Maybe you guys have seen more than I have. TNT Tiger, do you think our freshman and portal class is top notch? I do. And when you're taking the numbers that LSU's taking from the portal, you know, look, I haven't looked at it in a while. What is LSU? About 7 in most of them right now. The high school class, that's where you need to be. When you're taking this many transfer portal kids, and still some more could be coming, it kind of reduces the emphasis on those high school rankings. You really need to take into consideration the transfer portal kids. When you're having guys get infused into your program that were starters at Power 5 conference schools last year, you know, oftentimes those guys, especially if they've got multiple years of eligibility left, those guys can mean a lot more than the guys that are in maybe the bottom third of your signing class. Von Bluesman, LSU assigned running back Trey Holly, state record breaker, 10,520 yards, 146 touchdowns, broke Nick Brissett's rushing record. He's a stud. I don't care what his size is. There you go. Heupel turned Joe Burrow into greatness. I saw somebody on Facebook yesterday posted that photo of the UCF guy standing over Burrow after that devastating hit. Fiesta Bowl. Yeah, I'm ready to change that intimidator. Been too long for a title. It was getting to the point where guys like me were saying it might be time to take it down. You know, it's been so long, but I think Jay Johnson's about to rectify that. You know, we've been having a debate who's going to have a national championship sooner, Mulkey or Jay Johnson. Is it going to be Jay Johnson with room to spare? If what we're seeing right now and the excitement and these preseason rankings hold up to be true. Doug knows LSU has 9 pitchers that can bust 95 miles an hour. Okay, I see what you guys are doing. Is we got a spammer in here? Mike, do you know anything about the North Caddo coach? He went to Fontainebleau. That's where I graduated. I'm just curious if you. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. But I imagine I'll be knowing something soon. All right, guys. I want to talk to you about Alumni Hall. They're one of our sponsors, newest sponsors. And go to Alumni Hall. Best apparel for the family, hats, drinkware, wall art, you name it. They've got it. LSU students, faculty, and military receive 10% off in store. Show your ID, show your military ID, and you will get a 10% discount in the store. You can earn cash back with their Hall Pass reward program. Go check out Alumni Hall in Perkins Row or shop anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate LSU Tiger shopping experience. And they've got fantastic gear. They've got the best sweatshirts. Of course, I mean, we're talking about it being 77, 79 degrees in mid-January. Everybody's didn't get to pull out their sweatshirts much, but I know we've got a cold front coming in the next day or so. But they've got all the newest stuff. They've got all the new baseball gear in. We're talking about LSU baseball season. They've got all the LSU jerseys. They got new LSU baseball gear. Go check out Alumni Hall in Perkins Row. TNT, Mulkey won't be far behind if not first. She'd have to do it this year, huh? Mulkey and Jake both winning it this year. All right, go Tigers. So technically she would win it first. Yep. Bart Smoke, you need to have some form of berm or seating area out there in right field. Get rid of the bleachers. You know what, Bart? That's a good question. I've been meaning. I know when Jay Johnson got here, he was just like in awe of the facilities. And of course, everybody here was saying, man, yeah, but you need to see what Mississippi State's done, what Arkansas's got. And then you're going to see where Alex Box is in need of some upgrades. And but what you're saying has been true out there. I think it needs a little bit of flavor or something festive out there, man. I don't know if they need a water feature, if they need margarita machines lined up about 20 in a row, water slides. I don't know, but there's something they can do out there to add some flavor, particularly when you see what's going on at some other SEC venues. It looks really vanilla and generic out there. Did BK seem like an LSU guy? I tell you, he does now. I think he's been fantastic. I like everything that I'm seeing out of the LSU program. Even when you have some negative news like Walker and transfer portal, I just like the way they go about conducting their business and trying to do everything the right way. DA Mike, there is absolutely no guarantee, no matter what Lane told Walker, that he will get the reps he's looking for. At year's end, he might just be in the exact situation he left. And there is that possibility. I know that has been discussed. But we're going to see how it plays out. John Parker, great show, Mike. Thank you, John. Hit the like button. Guys, hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't already. Anytime we load up content on our YouTube channel, you'll get an alert. If you've got the YouTube app loaded on your iPhone or Android phone, I think our next content will be tomorrow night, post-game with Mulkey. I'll be there covering that for TigerBait.com. And I'll have my video up on our channel of her post-game. Softball team is outstanding. Yep. They've started practice, and she's got some outstanding freshmen. And I know there are a lot of softball fans, season ticket holders, are getting a little antsy and starting to wonder, how if things are going to get better at LSU softball, get over the hump, so to speak. Because you're only a few years away from Oklahoma and Texas coming in. So the SEC is not going to get any easier. Oh, that's awful, Mick. I'm sorry. Please keep my family in your prayers. My older brother killed himself last week. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that, Mick. You are in our thoughts and prayers. Greg Myers, Mike checking in from Nashville. Keep up the great work. Go Tigers. Thank you. Yeah, Mick, that's awful, man. You're in our thoughts and prayers. Doug, I was kind of alluding to that earlier, wasn't I? Word from the Ole Miss side is Dart is getting pushed out for the Oklahoma State transfer, so Walker gets second team reps. I didn't want to say that, but evidently that's being discussed out there in Ole Miss land. Mike, there is absolutely no guarantee, no matter what Lane told Walker. Yeah, okay, I already read that one. Sorry. Yeah. At LSU, he got no reps. That's it. Wish him the best. If there's no one to blame, it's the COVID year. It is the COVID year. And again, Jaden Daniels gives LSU its best opportunity. And then with a Nussmeier with more time to get seasoned, now with Walker gone, to win the most games next year. That's what Brian Kelly was hired to do. And so that free COVID year is done a number in every sport in NCAA. And it's made it so a lot of underclassmen had to wait their turn even longer because of many guys taking that free year. Of course, some of those other kids also got free years. Eric DeLine, great show as always, Mike. Being more of a sport purist, I enjoy your shows. I'd rather talk more about sports than like some other shows that want to focus on entertainment just as much. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate those kind words. Richard Sinnett, outstanding show tonight, Mike. Thank you, Richard. Doug, no, Skeens will pitch Friday, rest Saturday, and DH Sunday. That's the current plan from what I've gathered. That kid is something, man. I was laughing when we got to interview him when he first got there, and he's as tall as the backdrop behind him. Yeah, Beth better have some fire in her gut. TNT Tiger, Mike, I like your serious and thoughtful information. Thank you, TNT. If Walker was better today than Nussmeier, he would be number 2. Really didn't have an opportunity to compete for the number 2 when you're running the scout team. That was supposed to happen in the spring. Trell Hatch, great show and a new subscriber. Thank you, Trell. Thanks for joining us. Ditto TNT. Thank you, guys. Beth has a fire under her derriere. Okay. Scrolling up. Boy, you guys are really lighting the fire under Beth Torina. Torina's on the hot seat. The freshman and her recruiting is her saving grace. Beth Torino is the last of the stragglers. She better deliver this year. Man, this is Beth Torina hammer time. All right, guys, I'm going to scroll down and make sure I get to some of your comments. Hit that like button, guys, very much. Appreciate when you guys do that. American Patriot, the NCAA screwed Nuss because they wouldn't allow him to play in the bowl game against Kansas State. Yeah, that would have been nice. I'm glad they changed that rule. Earlier, someone mentioned Bo Bordelon. What say you, Mike? Look, Bo physically is that is a big dude, and I'm telling you, his body fat percentage is got to be hovering 10%, maybe a little lower. He does not carry any bad weight. I think he makes a move this spring. I want to see how often we get to see if we have the same amount of access, and I think we are that we had last spring. I can't wait to see what Bo Bordelon looks like. I think he's got a real opportunity to stake a claim in the two deep and be a guy that maybe you're not fearful of rotating in after a redshirt season. Holden Lee, you should see the talent Torina has. She only lost one starter. That team better make a run. It's insane how talented they are. Well, look, you guys, I'm not going to be. I can be ignorant on softball. Something's got to give. I don't watch it as much as a lot of you, but it's always kind of been the hitting, right? Yeah, it's always been the hitting, and a lot of people saying she's loyal to the coach and like Les Miles and Cam Cameron, right? Being loyal, it can be a positive for you, but it can also be a negative. American Patriot with a super chat. Thank you, American Patriot. Which portal player makes the most impact? I don't know. I think if several of those defensive linemen can. I think, I think there's probably 3 or 4 guys that I think can be major impact players. That's a good question. I'll come back to that one. Let's see who else gets in here. This Oregon State linebacker comes into the fold. Yeah, there you go. That's without a doubt. Denver Harris. There you go. He's the guy. There's your answer. Thanks for helping me with my brain fart. All right, guys. First LSU player drafted in the draft. Who would that be? I'm guessing Butte, right? I hope he's working real hard and with some guru about getting ready for the combine. So we'll see. Could be BJ Ojolari. We'll see. It could be BJ. But, man, I'm telling you, if Butte's in shape and he's working with one of those gurus in Atlanta or wherever, getting ready to test, I'm telling you, when Keishawn Butte tests, if he can get back to where he was, he could move way on up despite not having a 22 season like where he was supposed to. I'm going Josh Williams. Who will be the starting running back? I think it's Josh Williams. Does he hold on to it? But Frank Wilson's going to have a lot of guys to rotate. So, there you go. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to the show. I'm going to get a late dinner. Go to TigerBait, subscribe, try us out for $1. I've got a new recruiting update. Let me tell you who it's going to be on. I just got it sent to me. Where is it at? TJ Lindsey. Arkansas defensive lineman who got an offer. I got a nice recruiting update coming on him, and we've got a lot more coming for you on TigerBait.com. Go read the story on the running back from Opelousas, class of 25. They got an offer from LSU before Christmas. That's a great story if you haven't seen that already. Go to TigerBait.com. You can try us out for $1, and we'd love to have you be a part of our community on our Tiger Den message board. We're getting a lot more traffic there. I'm there day and night answering your questions, and I'll be back here next week with Buddy Sanji. And again, thank you all for tuning in, and see you on the other side. Good night.